strength of field races, you've probably stating the obvious, but you'll probably need to have a high I rating round about the 4,000 mark, probably 4,500 I rating to get into this strength of field race. But yes, maybe someone can correct me in the chat or let me know in the chat. And yeah, basically you'll need a high I rating. But yeah, it seems to be most of the people in this strength of field race have high I ratings, and yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, seem to be pretty good or pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely, and they certainly showed that in qualifying. Let's see if they can back it up in the race coming up for you, because it is a full formation lap. And I don't know why they can't just line up on the back straight. It'd save a little bit of time, but still, they're just going around and kind of admire the views of this Georgia circuit.
So, any predictions for tonight, Sam, from you?
Well, in the P1s, Paddy Wolf, that's really confusing me a lot. But if it is Patrick Wolf, if it is a pure racing driver full stop, then I think potentially we could see a runaway victory. Hopefully we won't. But I'm just really interested to see what Thierry Renson will do, and of course in the LMP2s as well, because Johan Half leading the way. But it was so close in qualifying as well, as it always is in that LMP2 field. Could be a very interesting event in all three classes. We are just approaching the final section of corners now, and the cars just making a nice gap between each other. And Paddy Wolf will approach the pit entry now. It's a unique pit entry. We might have to watch out for that one later on. But the safety car now comes in, and Paddy Wolf accelerates away. It's not a good start whatsoever for the guy who was in second place, and now is off onto the grass. Not too many incidents though, thankfully. I think that was Albert going miles off the circuit, going through the first few corners. And yeah, drops down the field. Johan Hart, good start for him. He's still ahead of the chasing pack. Labate has got past Bout. Naboska, not a good start for him. Starts in third place, down into fifth. But that's really the only changes in that class. And then in the GTEs, and it's still Arana leading the way in that class currently. And I think it's Franzak just behind him as well. So not too much of a change in that class either. Really good start to this race, Ryan.
Yeah, everyone got through the field. Everyone got through turn one rather in one piece, and yeah, so far so good from most of the field, and no incidents to report.
Yeah, certainly what we wanted to see. Very close right now for Javier Rabot. Right onto the back of Gabriele Nessi, who we see so often on this Wednesday night split. Always there or thereabouts is Nessi, but he's under a little bit of pressure in that Ford, which is a little bit of a boost, as you can see out there. Lots of Fords out there, being really helped by the recent BOP change. And so it's running pretty well out there. But Franzak having to defend currently for third position. He's under pressure from Skripczak. He's up a couple of positions. Franzak actually dropped behind Grabowski in these opening stages.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good battle up at the front here on lap one between Franzak and I can't say that name in P4. I apologise. But
please tell us. Oh, he's been overtaken by Vecchio now. So he's down. It's even worse for the two of them, and they could be more contact. Got to be careful here, has Gianni. And he hasn't rolled back into the circuit. Oh, that was a classic Real Atlanta issue there, Ryan. It's such a narrow circuit, and through a fast corner like that, incidents are of many.
Yeah, it's just proof around here that yeah, if you do anything silly around Road Atlanta, try any silly moves like we've seen in turn one there on lap 2, but just Road Atlanta could come back and bite you, and bite you big time.
Yeah, and so that's the first major incident of this race. Remember, it was for some of the front runners. I think that was P3 and P4 at the time, not anymore, of course. And right to the back of the field, Johan Hart, he's coming under increasing pressure from Korsebon. got a nice little lead initially, but you can see that gap has not extended whatsoever. And still Neil Andrews is there or thereabouts as well. Labarty, like I said earlier on, Labarty and Belt.
Oh, he just ran majorly wide.
Yeah, Hart really using a lot of the curve. You can see a few of the drivers just behind him as well, going very wide there. He's he needs to try to extend this gap, because right now, down this back straight, Kazabon must be getting a pretty nice toe run.
Yeah, I was about to say, half of this needs to try and pull away and try and build a bit of a gap, but Kozabon behind him is not letting him get away, and he's sticking with him due to the slipstream. But also at the same time, they've got to keep an eye on Neil Andrews back there in third place, because he's a dark horse and you can't rule him out of winning this race in the HSBD class.
Yeah, absolutely. Never do that. Unfortunately, we have lost Thierry Renson from this race, a championship leader, and yeah, he is out of the event, unfortunately. And here it was, oh wow, he's actually binned it himself then, or maybe had a collision with someone else, but I thought it may have been like an internet connection issue or something, because he had a very unusually slow qualifying time, and here it was through the S's.
Yeah, just having a look to see what happened. I guess he just ran a little bit wide, or the car just bounced.
He seemed pretty happy to go out that wide, but the car wasn't at the same time.
Yeah, it just looks like he ran a little bit too wide and took too much, maybe just took too much exit curb and just unsettled the car, and there was nothing that Thierry could do. And yeah, that was it. That was it. Just a journey into the wall.
Thank you to Dominic Barber for saying that. It is Patrick Wolf. It's not Paddy Wolf. We haven't got another Wolf out there racing. He just happens to be extremely fast. It is Patrick Wolf, but something to do with his subscription running out. That's pro racing drivers for you, taking it ever so seriously, I'm sure. And yeah, just yeah, getting another account seemingly and running this race, which we are very pleased about, and of course on board with him right now. Really is kind of pot luck around this circuit, Ryan, in terms of where you get the traffic. Around this part of the circuit, it's not too bad, but once you get to the S's, that can cause you probably 2-3 seconds at a time. Yeah,
absolutely. On that back straight there, it's not too bad lapping traffic, because there's enough room on that straight to lap GT cars. But if you catch traffic in the wrong places, like the final chicane, for example, or into turn 1 and then up to through the twisty section, it can cost you anything up to 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, we might just see that here. Will Patrick will be able to get the first one hit? No, and you can just see now the time he's going to lose up this hill, and you might even see the LMP1's just behind. You can see how much Farrow is closing, and Farrow all of a sudden right onto the back of him. He's only one car behind. Of course, now Farrow might be held up by the Porsche coming up. Needs to be a little bit careful. But it's all about just using this traffic to your advantage. But you can see how quickly they've gone through the entire GT field in about 1.5 laps. And now this will go back to kind of how fast these drivers are in terms of pure pace. So it's MP1 field very close to one another.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Wolf just got held up a little bit by traffic there, and I think it gave Farrow the chance to try and close Wolf down a little bit. And I think if Patrick, or Paddy, whatever you want to call him, if he gets held up in traffic through the twisted section, it could give Farrow a chance to close right up and possibly try and make a move. But yeah, they also have to keep an eye on Gabriel Rose back there, on Gabriel Rose rather, back there in third place.
Yeah, definitely. I've also raced against Gabriel Rose in the Daytona prototype days. They were good, and well, yeah, whilst he at least back then was a little bit of an erratic driver, did have a fantastic turn of pace, and you can see he's only 3 seconds off the lead currently. And so, yeah, really showing that pace to his advantage currently. And actually, closing in a little bit on the second place driver. But here is the battle in the LMP2s. Lebowska trying to respond after that not so good start, losing a couple of positions. In fact, has he just lost another position here to Bouts, I think. I'm not quite sure, but it's yeah, about really under pressure right now from Lavoska. Not too far behind Labartzi and Andrews, but you can but Hart just ahead is getting a bit of a gap, and it's nearly 3 wide now. Coming out of the S's section, you can go for a dive on the inside this one. It's even easier to go on a dive for the following corner because it's such a slow speed apex. Yeah, not quite feeling the need at the moment, Lavoska, but he's really close to Ryan. And yeah, this is a long old straight and a big braking zone at the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these two guys are battling, and they also have to keep an eye on Jones behind them as well in the Torque Feet Racing HBD, and yeah, they just need. Ooh, as Lavoska got sideways on the exit. Yeah, they have to keep an eye on Jones because Jones could be there to pounce and pick up the pieces if these guys get caught up.
Lavoska is not exactly being a big fan of Bout currently, because Bout is holding him, or not holding him up necessarily, but he's trying to fight back, and all Lavoska wants is just to clear up into the distance, and that seems to be what he's done. Tolden now in the Dog Freak Racing.
Oh, it's Tolden. My bad.
Yes, it's an easy mistake to make on the lifetime Tufa. But yeah, Tolden, he's ever so close, and actually Jones, you were right, Ryan, because he's going to be profiting from this. You can see he's right on the back of them now, and going through this next section of corners once again for Bout. I think he's could well lead the position at the end of this straight once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just looking at Jones at the moment, he's Tolden seems to be pulling away slightly. It could be he's running a lower downforce setting, or maybe it's because he's got a slipstream from boot as oh Jesus.
Oh, nicely done from
nice
Andrew
move.
Jones. That was absolutely fantastically done down the inside, and he's got a nice little run as well. It looked as though Tolden was on the grass at one point there, and he lost a lot of momentum. And here comes Jones down the inside now, into turn 1. Not quite confident enough on the brakes. It's difficult to pull off that one, and in fact he's going to be under pressure from Tolden. He couldn't quite keep the inside for turn 3. All going on in this battle, but it was also close between Kazorbon and Andrews. The lead was down to about 0.4 of a second at one point, and it's only 1.5 seconds separating the top 3. And yeah, here they are along with quite a few GTs as well.
Yeah, the half just needs to be careful when lapping his GT cars, because Kazubon is right behind him in second place, and if Harf gets held up, because Kazubon could be right behind Harf headed into turn 1.
Well, I think there's just been a little bit of contact just ahead, and there is a slow Ford GT on the inside, and there's a couple more slower cars as well in there. Not sure what's just happened to those couple of drivers. And here it was, Diwad Karoni was running, I think, in 7th place. And he seems to have been involved in a bit of an issue.
Oh, he got sideways. Oh, he got hit as well.
Pretty incredible to see Fords out there in the field, let alone all occupying the same piece of track. And yeah, all a little bit of damage, and sometimes that car can be a little bit susceptible to a lot of aero damage. So yeah, could be issues for those drivers later on. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm just looking through the GT field as well. The closest battle at the moment seems to be between Rabot, Williamson and Stabe, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, they're not bunched up, but they're similarly close. As yeah, Franciac goes has been passed or made a pass into the final corner.
Franciac has been overtaken by Lahauk. So that is. Where did Lahauk start actually? He must have started a little bit further down. He was 2 positions behind Franciac at the start, so he started in 4th place. So well done to him. Yeah, he's up into the top 2 now, and whoa, we'll wait and see if he can try to catch Alex Arana, who's only 1.5 seconds up the road, but after having an absolutely awesome run so far. And yeah, hopefully he can make this lead GT battle very quick.
Ooh, that was a bit bouncy.
Battle. He's not holding off right now, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going hell for leather and just giving it everything, trying to pull away. But yeah, that was that might have woken him up a little bit, bouncing on the exit curb.
Yeah, absolutely. We will compare lap times between these two in the coming laps, but on that last one at least, Le Hook was actually... oh, it didn't come up with a represent. Oh no, it did. Four tenths faster for Le Hook, which is quite a lot. But of course, traffic playing such an important part currently, it's difficult to really judge the pace. We can see how he's already dropped the driver in 3rd place already.
Yeah, I'm just watching Le Hook now. He's just watching him through that final chicane. He was absolutely launching that car over the curves, and it was just, you could tell by the car, the way the car was bouncing around.
Well, he just gained another 3 seconds there. 3 tenths of a second. Oh, Paddy Wolf has fallen down the field, if my screen is correct at least. He just had a lap time some 2.5 seconds slower than the race leader, Matt Farrow. And Paddy Wolf, I think you're just seeing a replay of it right now. I can't see it, unfortunately. But yeah, all kinds of issue right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what happened to Paddy. I mean, I just seen a little bit of him going into the final chicane, and it looked like he got held up by traffic, or yeah, I can't see him on track, so I don't know if he's had a disconnection or a throughput or something like that. Oh, there we go. He's he's in P4, so I'm not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, we just saw a replay, which unfortunately me and Ryan couldn't see of the incident, and yeah, that's not exactly what Patrick wanted. And the 45 car, he surprisingly to me at least, hasn't really driven away from the rest of the field, partly down to the fact that it's just constant traffic. It's a short circuit this, and he's down into 4th place, and he's 7 seconds off the lead. So he wanted a challenge, I imagine, did Patrick, and he's sure going to get one, because he's got 3 very quick drivers now to overtake if he's going to win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Patrick now, anyway, if I was Patrick anyway, I would just be putting the hammer down and trying to regain as much time as possible and try and salvage the best result possible. But he's not out. No, he's not out. He still has a chance of winning basically. So if he keeps his nose clean, as he's trying to lap a HBD through the S's.
He'll be really annoyed with that one, because you can see there's no one else ahead. So if he cleared that HBD a little bit in the corner beforehand, he wouldn't have lost 2 seconds. It's just those little things which cost you a lot of time, and it's difficult to make back up that time in the next few laps. And yeah, Patrick Wolf now 9 seconds off the lead, 8.5 seconds off the lead. So yeah, he's going to have a long way to catch Matt Farrow at the end of this race. Bit of a change in the P2 battle. I'm not sure if it's actually a change, because Johan Hart is still leading the way, but he's now 5 seconds clear of Thibault Kazorbon. Quite an incredible gap, considering it was so close earlier on. But I don't know what's happened to those guys. Seemingly both Kazorbon and Andrews have fallen into the clutches of Labate now. And yeah, Hart, he's not the championship leader, but he is driving as if he was one, absolutely dominating out there now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's having a good run so far, and he's managed to pull away from Kasebon at the moment in 2nd place. Yeah, he's just put the hammer down and managed to increase that gap. And I don't know if Kasebon and Andrews got held up in traffic. It might have been just traffic just gave him a chance to get away, but yeah, Johan's doing a good job so far, and proving why he's one of the quickest people in iRacing.
Neil Andrews very close to Kazorbon now. These two have been fighting against each other for a while, and I wouldn't be surprised maybe if Kazorbon's got like some damage or something. And sorry, that was Labate going past Andrews. So I was talking completely about the wrong thing. So something must have happened between Kazorbon and Andrews earlier on, because you can see Andrews is falling back, and he's nowhere near the 27 car now. Of course, let's lose that track position to the LMP1. We'll have to monitor his progress later on. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of aero damage on that car currently, because he's already dropped 4 seconds behind behind Labate. There he is. So what is going on right now with Neil Andrews? And he's about to lose another position here to Labosca. He got past Belt a few laps ago, and I think this is going to be even easier this time for Labosca. He's only a 10th behind at the moment. Andrews still defending, but this has been an awful run of laps for the drive.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up there with Andrews. I mean, he had a good. He had a. Ah, I'm just looking now. I think he might have. No, I'm looking at something else. Yeah, Andrews. He had a good start to the race and he was right up there. But I don't know if he's got damage or anything or something like that. But his pace has dropped off a little bit.
Well, yeah, just looking at his lap times, he was consistently running in the 1:10s, then set a 1:11, 1:13, back in the 1:10s, and then 1:11 and 1:12. So I don't know if he has now got some damage. And here was potentially a bit of an incident for Neil Andrews earlier on. And this is how he lost so much time earlier on in the lap at least. And he went off the circuit. He was a little bit slow before that, but that did not help his cause whatsoever.
Yeah, he went to turn into turn one, and an LMP1 car just dived up the inside and forced him off the track. So yeah, I think there was nothing Neil could have done there. I think it was just one of those things. It was either risk contact with an LMP1 car or run wide and lose some time in some places. And I think Neil done the sensible option and just let it run wide.
Starting to pressure from Lavoska, who I remember did not get a great start, starting in 3rd position, I believe, Lavoska, and went down straight away, but has had good pace, and still really close to Andrew. Let's see if he can maybe get him into turn one. He's perhaps a little bit too far behind, slipstream impact not too strong in these HPDs, and he looks to the inside, cannot execute the overtake for now. Still, I think it's Arana leading the way in the GTE field. And yeah, he's only just ahead of Lehulk still, though. I don't know how to pronounce that. Please tell me how to pronounce... also, Arthur or Arthur? I'm not sure where he's from, so I'm not sure about that. And then Lehulk, I have no idea. But he's only 9/10 behind. That doesn't really matter. And they are pulling away from Kamil Franzak just behind as well. He's now 3.5 seconds behind them. So a good potential duel for this GTE victory.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still pretty close in the GTE field at the moment between Arana and Lehulk. I can't say that name. I'll just say Lehulk for the moment. Yeah, it's a good battle between these two cars at the front of the GTE field at the moment, and I think the battle for the win could go right down to the last lap.
Yeah, we certainly hope for that. Someone did just say Arthur A. Nfu. I did GCSE French. I only got a D in it, so I know what A is, or yeah, that's is. So Arthur is something. I don't know what it is. Whether it's a nice compliment or he's actually, you know, personally attacked him, I'm not quite sure. Side by side currently between Gabrowski, who remember had that collision at turn 1 earlier on in the race, and he's making his way back up through the field. He's just got past Macias, who's up 12 positions from his start, so well done to him, but no match to Denis Gabrowski.
Yeah, absolutely. Denis Grabowski is one of those people that I've watched in iRacing for quite some time, and yeah, he's one of the quick drivers in iRacing, and he's with one of the best teams in iRacing, I think anyway, with pure racing teams. So yeah, Dennis proving that he's got the talent and he's got the pace, and proving why obviously I get your words out right, proving why he's with one of the best sim racing teams in iRacing.
Yeah, wasn't it? What did Pure win the GT Championship this year? I'm not sure.
I believe they did. I know that I think they won over at the Sim Expo. They won the GT 500 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think they won that as well. So yeah, not a shabby team whatsoever. Certainly playing in the top 5 iRacing teams out there without any doubt. Heinrich is really close to the back of Franzak, who remember was running up in 2nd position earlier on, got overtaken by Lehulk, and now falling down the field, potentially down into 4th position. But right now Heinrich cannot quite make that move. It is fantastic to see so many Fords out there, I must say. Does not get old, and it still looks really odd to see that many out there. But it is a very strong car right now, and Patrick is certainly showing that currently.
Absolutely, the Ford, for me anyway, and for the GTE class, I would probably say the Ford is one of my favorite, is my favorite car at the moment, or always has been my favorite car, I should say, on iRacing. When it comes to GTE racing, it's just, I'm not the quickest of people on iRacing by any means. I mean, so for me anyway, it's just one of those cars that I like to jump in and I can feel comfortable straight away and just constantly go around doing laps.
Oh, here comes Heinrich. He looks to the inside, but there was not what space. And now the LMP1 goes straight across the road, Alonso style. If anyone saw that, he did it twice at Suzuka last weekend, and yeah, potentially some damage to that LMP1. It was Albert, who of course ran in second place at the start, but had an awful start. Seemed to deploy absolutely no energy, and actually was the Ford going across, which caused Albert to go off the track, and that's a lot of damage to Albert's floor. Undoubtedly, he's back into the pits, and that might just be his day over and done with.
Yeah, Heinrich, I think Heinrich should have been more aware there. He was just, he went to move out, but he didn't see the P1 car coming and went out to make a move, and it just caught the LMP1 car off guard, and just the P1 car just had nowhere to go at the gravel at high speed. And yeah, that incident for me is on Heinrich, for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it certainly was Heinrich's fault. And yeah, you gotta be aware of your mirrors, but of course was probably so focused on the car ahead, maybe just didn't take that into account, or maybe came out a little bit wider than he originally hoped to. But it hasn't caused too much damage, at least to him. And he will be able to set another attack on the drive, currently in third place in the LMP1 field. At least from my screen, I'm seeing Patrick Wolf up in second position currently. He was down into fourth at one point, but yes, he is in second place. Any stops for those drivers? Nope, not at the moment. They should pit around half distance, so in about 5 minutes time we'll see a few of them come in. Of course, fuel consumption not too bad around this circuit. He is still 6 seconds off Matt Farrow, though that gap was up about 9 seconds at one point. But yeah, just some issues seemingly for Savika and Usabi, and they've fallen back, and also Roos as well. But Patrick Wolf really showing his class up there, and closing in on the race leader. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I'll just say Patrick, because we all know it's Patrick anyway. But yeah, he's done a good job to recover so far, and yeah, he's done a good job to get back up to second place and decrease that gap to Matt Farrell down to 5.3 seconds as it stands at the moment, I believe. And yeah, if Patrick can keep out of trouble and just try and catch up to Matt, then the race, excuse me, the battle for the win is on.
Absolutely. And on this lap, Wolf was 1.5 tenths slow. I thought he was going to be faster, because he seemed to gain quite a bit in the second half of that lap. Now let's see how much time he loses here. Can he get the Porsche just going into this next corner? Nope. And well, there's not many more things more painful, I'm sure, for Patrick Wolf than sitting behind that guy, because you can see lost probably 1.5 seconds. Gap was down to 5.5. It's now back up to 6.25. So straight away, all that good work he did kind of a bit undone, but it's hopefully for him at least the cars will fall into his hands, and yeah, we'll get a bit of luck later on. Lavoska really close to Andrews, I believe. Yes, he's still behind Andrews, who seems to have composed himself after a few very difficult laps. And yeah, he's still under pressure though from Antti. He just seems to be struggling to extract that killer pass at the moment.
Yeah, I think it could be a factor. Maybe Andrews is on maybe slightly lower downforce for the straights, unlike Lavoska is maybe using higher downforce for the high speed corners. So, as Andrews got slide sideways there on the exit. Yeah, Lavoska's got a run in him, so he might be able to get the move done heading down into the final chicane.
trying to use the GT slipstream as much as possible. Now, is Leboska going to get boxed in here by the GT? No, they're not going to quite catch it in time, and Leboska not quite late enough on the brakes. He can go around the outside into that chicane, but he didn't feel that he could do so, and actually going to get held up now as the judge
going to get held up
onto the brakes, and Leboska's got a fantastic run now. He looks to the outside, he dummies to the inside. Antti Leboska, not quite though.
Oh, that was so close. I thought they were going to collide with the GT car, but fair play to both of them. They managed to survive, and yeah, I was just bringing it on to my point. I think Angie's is on lower downforce and Leboska's on high downforce. So yeah, it's twists and turns in each corner of this track with both of them.
Yeah, it is absolutely fascinating to watch this. Again, GT getting involved. Leboska looks to the inside, but he couldn't make that. I think that's Skabrovski that they're just going past. And you can see now he's losing all that potential slipstream effect. And now he can get into the slipstream. It'll be interesting to see actually what this gain is like, because I think Ryan is correct with Leboska maybe running a slightly high downforce setup. He is gaining though. That's a decent gain. Recall how Johan Hart was running insane downforce at Silverstone last season, and even with the slipstream he was losing time down the straights, but Leboska certainly doesn't have that. But yeah, he just has not got close enough so far to his opponent to overtake into 4th position.
Yeah, it just seems to be the both. Oh gee. Yeah, as Leboska was getting a bit erratic. And yeah, he did a risky move there, lapping the GT car, and I think that was a bit unnecessary. He could have waited until maybe after the twisty section, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, and Leboska just wants to try and keep up with Andrews, but that's gave Andrews a bit of a buffer to try and get away.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap now between the two of them, but you'll wait to see if Leboska can get closer any time soon. Lehouk and Lehouk's got the move then on Arana, so it's really close between the pair of them right now though. So Lehouk is still under pressure. Does Arana feel the need to come back straight away? Will he look to the inside? No, he won't. So maybe just happy to sit behind, get the slipstream, and stay close until the pit stops later on. I don't know if we could try to find a replay of that move, because it's kind of been coming between the pair of them. And yeah, Lehouk has finally been able to make it, and here it was going into the obvious passing spot around this circuit. I don't think Arana defended. Lehouk goes to the inside, and yeah, gets the job done.
Yeah, yeah, he didn't fight the move. He just Arana didn't fight the move. He just as soon as Lehouk got a move on him, he didn't fight him. He just let him go, because it's still early in the race. We're only about 30 minutes into the race, so it's a bit early to be fighting in my mind. So maybe they're both playing it sensible and just thinking of the long game.
Well, with the way, no, but that's kind of tailgating right now, isn't it, from Arana? He's right onto the back of his opponent, and just seems to try to be saving as much fuel as he possibly can currently. And maybe that's going to help him later on when it comes to the pit stops. Because remember, of course, Lehouk has spent so many laps behind Arana. It's looking as though right now maybe the French driver, I assume he's French. He seems to have some French friends in the YouTube chat. So yeah, Arthur has been saving a lot of fuel so far. Might be able to get an extra lap in this first stint, which is going to help him in the long run. Race leader Matt Farrow into the pits. We've just got past the halfway mark, so not too notable this pit stop, but we'll be hoping that's not too long a stop here, because he's in a fierce battle right now with Patrick Wolf.
Yeah, absolutely. But Farrow needs to stop to go as smooth as possible, and possibly not try and get any pit lane speeding penalties or pit entry penalties. So yeah, I think I would just be fuel only for Matt Farrow. I would believe, as yeah, Farrow was setting off.
Quick pit stop for Farrow. The majority of the other drivers, at least Jermaine, was 37 seconds. Sirica 41 seconds, and used to be 41 seconds. So actually really positive there for Matt Barron. We'll have to compare that with Patrick Wolf. I think there may have just been a spin for a car ahead. We'll find out in a second. Yes, there was, and into the
HPD.
wall. It's an HPD. Not sure who that is.
That was a Stefan Pla, or Stephanie Pla, however you pronounce it.
Was running in a decent position, was Stefan. Well, actually, was running further down the field, but had a clean race up to that point. But unfortunately, into the wall, was fighting with Antti Visas at the time.
Patrick Wolf's in the pits.
So, Patrick Wolf should be behind. We'll see what pit stop time this is. So remember, Ferrari 33 seconds. Wolf is still stationary, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29. Gosh, that's quite quick. And Patrick Wolf is still going to be behind though. But he has gained a large chunk of that gap that was there. And he nearly makes contact with the Ferrari there. And unfortunately for Patrick Wolf, he's actually going to get stuck behind a GT up the hill, is he? Yes, he is. And just about getting ahead of that Ferrari was Matt Ferrari. Wolf doesn't lose too much time. The gap, well, it was at 1.9 seconds. It's down to 3.5 now.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just watching the pit exit with Paddy Wolf on the exit, and oh, he was so close to making contact with that GT car. How they never collided is beyond me.
Yeah, I was very fortunate there, Patrick. And that's why you have the pit lane line, and I don't think, yeah, it's not really properly enforced. But, yeah, Patrick was slightly fortunate there. It is a very odd pit lane exit here. Does often cause a lot of issues. But yeah, down to 3 seconds now, so he just needs to get a bit of the rub of the green here. Doesn't get held up behind a GT. He's just going to catch up to this one, and that's very fortunate. Is going to get stuck behind another LMP1 though. Don't worry, that's not an actual car ahead of him. That's just a driver who's a lap down. And that's not going to help Patrick through this section.
Yeah, absolutely. Pat being stuck behind these cars through the twisty set. Ooh, I thought that P1 car was going to spin. Yeah, Paddy being stuck behind these guys through the S's. It's costing him so much time, and it's giving Matt Farrow a chance to pull away and try and increase the gap. And Paddy just needs to try and get the foot down and just go as quick as possible and just basically give it everything. Just treat every lap as a hot lap.
Yeah, certainly the only way to go about this now. We are approaching the pit stops. The next drivers to pit will be actually already into the pits. I don't know if I called that or not. Johan Harp into the pits, and a couple of others as well. Carly Labat as well. Also Remy Loza, I can see, has pitted, and a few others as well. So expect all those drivers to pit very soon. Harp, before the pit stops, was leading quite comfortably over Kazorbon, I believe, and Bout and all the others, Laboska as well, and Andrews has also pitted. So yeah, we'll just have to wait to see how this one turns out. But at the moment, at least Johan Harp looking very strong for another victory in this series.
Yep, Johan's having a good run so far. He's been probably, I think he's been the quickest so far in the HPDs, and I think if he keeps out of trouble at the moment as it stands, he could be on for a win. But it's still kind of early days, and if Harfe slips up, then people like Blavoski and Kasubon and Boot could be up there and could pounce on Harf to pick up the pieces.
We've also got another message. Allez Arthur. I know what that means. It means go Arthur. So clearly it wasn't a personal attack. It was a supportive message for his French colleague out there. And yeah, so still going very well actually is the leader of the GT. Isla Hook still leading around up by half a second currently. And you can see they are not too far away from Johan Hart currently. And yeah, this is still very much a two-way battle. We should see these drivers pit in certainly the next 10 minutes. We'll probably be with about a quarter of an hour to go. We'll see these drivers pit. They don't have to put in too much fuel whatsoever. And yeah, it'll kind of be whoever pits first will be at a small disadvantage, might be susceptible to the overcut, but we'll have to wait and see. Very even battle currently between these two.
Yeah, if I was excuse me, if I was one of these GT drivers up at the front here, I was maybe getting stuck in traffic or just being held up slightly when being lapped. I think if they can make it to if they can try and get to the 40-minute mark, it could be worth maybe pitting early and see if maybe trying an undercut and see if they can gain some time and some positions in the pit stops. With Road Atlanta being such a short track.
Yeah, certainly a potential plan. If you, yeah, certainly if some HBDs are coming up to the back of you, like we're seeing right now, it's certainly worth maybe pitting in a couple of laps early. And yeah, Le Hook almost getting involved in a bit of a collision there between the two drivers ahead of him. I think that was half going for me there on one of the lapped cars. And yes, it was. The only driver yet to pit in the HPD is, as I say that, Antonio Lavoska into the pits now, finally. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out onto circuit, because he was not too far behind Corzabon and Andrews. Sorry, yeah, he wasn't too far behind Andrews and Bout before the pit stops. Wonder where he'll be at the after the pit stops.
Yeah, I'm just keep an eye on Lavoska to see where he comes out. I don't know if it's me, but his pit stop's taking a little bit longer.
28 seconds. That is a bit longer. About 5 seconds longer than his opponents.
So there's a replay on the screen. A GT car for the S's, Kyle Dunlop. Wonder what happens here. Oh, he just bounced and hit the wall on the exit.
The way that you wouldn't expect either. He just, yeah, completely went over and couldn't even, didn't even lose the back end, just lost control of the car. And yes, disappointing to see Kyle drop out of the running there. Lavoska has come out of the pits and he's still behind Labartzi. So not too much has changed there. Although he is ahead of Andrews. That's good for him. So Andrews, did he have a poor pit stop? No. Andrews, yeah, still behind Lavoska then. So, yeah, must have been something slow for Andrews there, because I think he was ahead of Lavoska not too long ago, but now quite far behind. He'll be fighting about to the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Neil Andrews at the moment. He seems to be all by himself at the moment, and yeah, I'm not sure, is Andrews pitted yet, or yeah,
yeah, they've all pitted. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about you, Ron, but I thought he was ahead of Lavoska before the pit stops, wasn't he? Apparently Lavoska was 5 seconds. According to my screen, Andrews was 5 seconds faster himself. But I don't know. Lavoska was 5 seconds faster than Andrews, so that's the difference, because there is 5 seconds between the pair of them. So that's why I was getting confused. It was quite a significant gap. And actually, Lavoska's not too far behind Labartzi whatsoever. I think Labartzi has just had a bit of a poor lap. And so, yeah, that third position still very much up for grabs in this class.
Yeah, absolutely. As it stands at the moment, as I'm just watching the P1s and HBDs and GTE cars at the moment, and yeah, it's just looking at that picture in the back straight, just proves that how close it is when these cars are lapping or being lapped in the back straight, and that's why I love Road Atlanta, especially that back straight. Just seeing the sight of a mixture of the multi-class cars in that back straight. It's awesome to watch as Le Hook is in the pits.
Yes, so that's quite interesting actually. So Le Hook, despite getting some 15 minutes of slipstream on Arana, has had to pit first. Arana just about being able to eke out that little bit more fuel, because he did sit behind Le Hook for quite a bit of that stint, but I thought it was pretty even by the end of it. Arana though did really well to save a bit of fuel, and this will be fascinating now when he pits. Will he be able to execute that overcut, because obviously he'll have very little fuel right now. This is almost a qualifying lap for him, and it might just give him a chance to get back track position on the Joe. He's so far has a fantastic duel with.
Yeah, I wonder if the hook is maybe trying what I mentioned a few minutes ago, maybe trying to pit early. If he was stuck behind, if he was stuck behind Arana, he might be able to try and jump him as Arana is in the pits.
So, moment of truth.
Well, Arana was behind, sorry.
Yeah, the moment of truth now between these drivers. I just hope that they're close, to be honest. I want this battle to go on to right to the end, because so far they have driven absolutely superbly between the pair of them. And so compared to... So Lehouk did a 9.55 pit stop. Arana, 11 point... No.
Arana's leading the pits.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Damn it. Okay, Lehouk... I don't even know what's going on now. So Lehouk is going past, and here comes Arana. They're going to be side by side. Arana is just going to be able to pull ahead. No, he's not. Maybe just lifted off there, Ryan, I think, because I think he didn't want to have that position. He was very start of the pits.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to take that risk into the entry of the S's. He maybe just didn't want to risk having a collision.
Yeah, so this will be interesting. So Lehouk, he's side by side. Yeah, Arana lifted off, didn't he? He was side by side, and yeah, whether or not that was due to, yeah, as you say, Ryan didn't want to go side by side into that next corner, or maybe felt to say he wanted to stay behind. He wants to make the overtake. He wants to be behind at this point in the race, but might help him in the long run. We'll have to wait and see. But the good news is that this one is going to go right to the end of this race, with 16 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this battle's going to go on. It's going to rage on right till the finish, and yeah, just looking back at the leader of the HPDs, it's Johan Har, followed by Kasubon, and in second, and Labati in third. So yeah, it looks like Harf is in it basically all by himself at the moment.
Yeah, he's being able to quite dominate this this race currently. Johan Harf really got no opposition whatsoever at this point in the race. Used to be up into third place. He's got past Tarika. Reese must have had an issue at some point in this race, because remember, he was only 3 seconds off the lead at about 10 minutes in. He's now some 36 seconds off the lead, so has not worked out brilliantly for him. But yeah, used to beat and Suika having a good duel out there. Farrow has actually been able to pull away from Patrick Wolf. So very good news for Farrow. He did lose 0.6 of a second on that last lap, so it's not a done deal just yet. But right now it's looking very positive for Matt to take what would be a very impressive race victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt's been having a good race so far, and he's been managing to maintain that gap to Paddy Wolf at the moment, round about the 5.5 second mark, and yeah, he's not doing anything wrong at the moment. He's basically, so far, his race so far has been so far so good.
Yeah, as long as he keeps it on the track, I doubt Wolf will be able to catch up. Although, as I say that, on this lap, Wolf has gained about half a second already, so it's not over and done with yet. And remember, just get stuck behind a couple of GTs up through those S's, that could be 3 seconds gone in an instant, and the battle would really be back on. Certainly Patrick Wolf has not given up yet.
Yep, I was just looking at that shot there of Paddy, and I could just see Farrow at the corner of my eye heading into the final chicane. And yeah, if Paddy keeps putting down his hot laps like he's doing at the moment, he might just be able to catch up to Farrow before the end of this race. So yeah, but and also as you mentioned, traffic could also play a factor. And yeah, Wolf is 1.3 seconds faster on that last lap. So yeah, game on.
Yeah, half a second faster in sector 3 alone. 4 sectors around this circuit, and yeah, took quite a large chunk out, just a couple of corners. Didn't think there was even any bad traffic there for Farrow, although on this lap just losing a little bit actually as Patrick Wolf. He had a poor sector 2, lost 0.8 of a second, and so all that good work has kind of been a little bit undone. It's still on though. He's not going to give up until the very end of this race, I'm sure. Guess we should go back to the GTs quickly, see what's going on in the Lahuk Urana battle, starting 0.4 of a second, and Urana right into the slipstream. When do you think he'll pull the trigger, Ryan? Do you think he's got to get this move done soon, or do you think it's maybe worth waiting until the last 2 or 3 minutes of the race to go for the overtake?
It depends. I mean, I don't know. I'd maybe say maybe with maybe 10 minutes remaining or 5 minutes. I would probably say 5 minutes remaining. If you're still stuck behind the leader, then that's when you've got to go for it.
You could see coming down the back straight there, lifted off when he had the opportunity to go to the inside, so he is still waiting. Of course, no point in saving fuel unless he's under-fueled his car. He did have a short pit stop, I think. No, he actually had a longer pit stop, did around. So he's probably got a little bit of extra fuel on board right now. So there's no point in fuel saving. He literally just doesn't want to be leading this race. He wants to pull off that move, as Ryan said, in the last 5 minutes, and take the lead then, and then not give his opponent the opportunity to get back past. This is definitely going to go down to the final lap unless some traffic gets involved. Absolute fantastic between the pair though. Behind Henrik, quite a bit behind, 7 seconds. That's not driven badly whatsoever. And then an incredible gap, 35 seconds to Gabriele Nessi. Quite incredible. He's actually having a nice little battle against Macias currently. Quite incredible, that gap. You can see how they're just on a completely different part of the circuit. I don't think I've ever seen quite a big gap between this field.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking back through the field. We've got this battle between who is this? Is it Macias and Nessie, I believe?
Yes, it is. And yeah, Macias, 6/10 ahead. Also, no, sorry, I thought there was another battle going on in the GTEs, but no, not right now. Not too much going on in the LMPTs either currently. Have still got the Andrews Bout battle relatively close to one another, but not too much going on there. And also Labati versus Labosca seems to have opened up that gap a little bit as well, so not too much going on out there in any of the classes. It's mainly just the lead for the GTEs and the lead for the LMP1s, which is the main battles going on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Oh, P1 on the wall.
Now, who was that? I want to say that was Sebi.
That was Jermaine.
Ooh, wow, onto the curb.
Oh, he just caught that outside curb and it just spun the rear wheels up, and yeah, just spun the rear left wheel up, and yeah, just nothing he could do. He was just a passenger.
Anyone who's ever made that mistake will know how absolutely vicious that curb is. May as well have teeth on it. It's absolutely horrendous if you hit it, and you're goner once you do. Either you're going to well, basically either way, you can lose control of the car and end up in one wall or another. And yeah, that has not worked out at all well for Charles Germain. He was up in the top 5, I believe, but not any more in this race.
Yeah, I'm just looking up at this. Just looking to see how this is at the moment. It's Rabot. So yeah, Oliveira and Rabot battling for P12 at the moment. Or am I looking at the wrong screen?
No, you are completely correct. Yeah, I haven't really paid too much attention to these guys so far, but I think they've been relatively close to one another. Actually, let's just get a little bit of camera time to all the drivers that we haven't seen in the GTE so far. Just kind of starting from kind of 5th position or so, because we've been mainly focusing on kind of the leaders so far. But of course, Gabrowski has had a superb run back through the field. Franzak just behind him. He's unfortunately been falling down the field. Fraser Williamson, it's rare that you have a race with Fraser Williamson and you don't see much of him. Well, we haven't, but he is still running very solidly in 7th place currently. Then it's Dominic Stabe just behind Gabriele Nessi. We've seen him a little bit with Sergei Macias just behind him. They've been having a good battle with Marcin Skripczak. Had a good qualifying to Skripczak, but unfortunately it's just been falling down the field ever since. And then yeah, Oliver Rabot, the court. Oh dear, Arthur Lehouk seems to have disconnected from this race. The leader of the field. It's given potentially a very easy victory for Alex Arana, and yeah, Lehouk has manually disconnected. It's not a connection issue seemingly, he is manually disconnected, and absolutely awful to see because that was properly lining up superbly, Ryan.
Yeah, that was lining up to be an awesome race for the win in the GTE class, but unfortunately, but as you say, it's gave Arana a chance to this possible cruise to the win, but Arana can't afford to back off too much. That's when mistakes start happening. If you start just backing off too much, you lose concentration and your focus, and you just start making silly mistakes.
Yeah, he is 6 seconds ahead of Henrik, so he cannot afford an incident. But yeah, looks on course for a race victory. He would have been hoping to fight against his rival in those closing stages, against Lehouk in these final few laps. So he'll be a little bit disappointed, but he will get this race victory seemingly. Very close for the overall race victory. Farrow has just lost 2 seconds on that last lap, and you can probably see why. Traffic is cost him quite a bit. Can he clear this GT car before the SS? Yes, he can. That might be absolutely crucial for this race, because if we go back to Patrick Wolf just behind, look at all this. This is absolutely horrendous, but he will get the Ford, fortunately, through the middle part, but he has lost a little bit of time behind the HPD, and the gap that was down to below a second, back up to 2 now. So, apologies. A very nice break there for Matt Farrow, and yeah, back with that small cushion.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the YouTube chat now, and Lehouk has posted in the YouTube chat, but it's in French, so I have no idea what he's saying. So, yeah, if anyone that speaks French could translate that into English, it might be able to help me. As yeah, we'll look back up to the front with Matt Farrow and Paddy Wolf, and yeah, the gap is starting to come down really quickly, and I don't know if Farrow is a fuel saver or not, or if he's just he just doesn't seem to be as quick, but Pat Wolf is absolutely on it and closing the gap quickly.
Seemingly, maybe Lehouk was on the edge of the instance and then got a contact from someone.
Sorry to interrupt, Sam, but Wolf's right behind Farrow.
Yeah, absolutely right. Farrow under big pressure now, and this is potentially the change for the LMP1 lead. And a little bit more slowing up for Farrow now. It's all about how much energy do they have to deploy, how much energy are they willing to deploy, because deploy it here and they might be vulnerable later on. But here comes Patrick Wolf. He's deploying a lot of energy, and he looks to the outside now, going into the chicane. Patrick Wolf is going to go for the race lead. Matt Farrow can't defend, and Wolf, after losing that lead some 40 minutes ago, takes it back.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a fantastic run from Patrick Wolf in the back straight, as Farrow's got a run Wolf into turn 1.
Deploying his battery. Anything you can do, I can do better, and down the inside goes. Matt Farrow almost gets onto the curb, which would have been disastrous, but Farrow is not giving up on this one, and well, they get a bit of a clear run through the S's this time. It's all about now that battery deployment, Ryan. Deploy it in one place, half a lap later you're going to be vulnerable, and that's what we might see in these closing stages.
Absolutely, but these guys need to watch out. They've got GTE traffic up ahead, and this could play into the hands of Patrick Wolf to maybe try and make a move on Farrow again. I wonder if will Paddy use his boost on the straight to try and get a run again? As oh Jesus!
Slaloming through the way. Oh, he's nearly gone into the back of him. He looked one way, he looked the other, and he nearly went straight into the back of his rival. But Barry loses it once again. Now Wolf, he's almost a little bit deep into the chicane, and actually it doesn't get a fantastic run now. How much strategy can he deploy? Has he now got the advantage? Because it's seemingly Barry is too far behind. You can see he's not gaining. Wolf with that lead established, and we wait to see if Matt Barry can respond in these final 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Just watching that on the back straight when Wolf got a run and far, I thought he was going to hit him. I have to admit, even though I'm not racing a bit, I think a bit of poo just came out.
Well, it was really close, wasn't it? Because they didn't really know what either of them were going to do. Wolf was looking either way, but Barry almost blocks him off accidentally. And in the end, he got the move done anyway. More GT traffic. They've been fortunate not to come across it through the S's. So far, you can see Wolf just about finds a way down the inside. Barry will find his way through there and go straight through the middle of them. That was very nearly race over for Matt Barry.
Oh, that was... I thought Matt Farah thought he was going to make contact with that bright green HPD, but yeah, that was so close to making contact. I'm having heart palpitation.
Now this could be the decisive moment in this race, because you can see the Ford just ahead, and Barry is going to get stuck behind. This is just what he didn't need, and a little bit of contact between a couple of cars. That might be what Barry needs, because if he can just clear the HPD, he'll stay close. Now who was that getting involved in a collision? Gerhard Hendrickson. I don't think this was the incident that we saw. Well, he's lost it as Gerhard.
Yeah. Gerard spun as well and got whacked from behind as just look at the replay again to see this is Loic coming up as well. Just Loic made contact with the GT car and just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was Grubowski just going off the circuit as well, probably picking up a bit of a slowdown.
As we're just watching Lavoska and Andrew's going at it at the moment. Oh, thought Andrews was going for the move there. Yeah, these two guys are going at it for P4, and yeah, if Andrews can get a run on Lavoska down into the final chicane, he could try and get a position, but they've got the GT traffic behind and also P1 lapping them. So yeah, they've got to be aware of what's in front and what's behind as Lavoska tries to get a slipstream from the P1 car.
It's all coming to life at the end of this race, isn't it? Oh. On the outside, there goes Neil Andrews. He's trying to get the move on Lavoska. He got past him quite a while ago. It must have been a good half an hour ago or so. And Andrews trying to respond. He was 5 seconds behind at one point. He's closed down that gap very impressively, has Andrews. But still, he's just behind. A little bit of damage, of course, to that P2 car of Lavoska. And Andrews, through this part of the circuit, has no chance. This is their last lap of the race because, the race leaders just actually approaching the final few corners. Patrick Wolf out there going through the final couple of corners. He lost the lead for some 40 minutes, did Patrick Wolf, but it did not stop him taking away the race victory. He beats Matt Farah by 3.5 seconds to the line. Absolutely fantastic battling between the pair of them. Johan Hart wins the LMP2 field, and it was absolute domination in the end. I think about, 15 seconds clear of the rest of the field by the end. Made it look easy. Anything, but it's still going on for P4.
It's still going on for P4.
P4. And here comes Andrews. And there's contact between the two of them. Lavoska goes through, and Andrews disqualified from the race. That was too many incidents. Lavoska goes through, and he will hang on to that 4th place.
Oh my god, that was... I'm absolutely gutted for Andrews there. He had to try and go for it though. Fair play to him, he went for it. But yeah, that's what happens when you're too close to the incident limits. Sometimes it's better to back off.
Just about beating James to the line. Also got Alex Arana to cross the line. Or has he already finished, Arana? He has. Or he's just stopped.
Oh,
I
he's doing
think he's
burnouts.
Well, he's celebrating, and well done. That's some good burnouts, actually, to be fair to Arana. Very impressive. Yeah, and he's taken away the race victory. Maybe not even the most impressive thing he's done today. Well done to him. Even though he was a little bit fortunate with Le Hook having his disqualification. But Arana, sideways down the straight, absolutely superb from him. And we can now go through the final results for you. And it's Patrick Wolf taking away the race victory. Like I said, he lost it for some 40 minutes. He was running outside, or he wasn't leading for some 40 minutes. But he came back, recovered, caught Matt Barry with just a few minutes to spare. And has won the race by just over 3 seconds. Carlo Yasubi finishes in 3rd. And then it's Sarika, Roos and Baz rounding out that LMP1 field with quite a few retirements. Jermaine, Albert and Renson. In the LMP2s, Johan Hart was absolutely dominant in the end. Thibaut Cazalbon had a bit of a dull race in the end, despite making a couple of overtakes early on. Carlo Barti also a little bit of a boring race in 3rd. Anthony Lavoska, of course, had that collision in the closing stages. He beats Julian Bout. Then it's Andrew Jones. Neil Andrews got disqualified, that's why he was quite so far down. Then it's Alessandro Dalladone, Loy Guiardo, Antti Visas, Remy Loza, Stefan Pla, and Philip Urquhardt, I think. Apologies. Then the retirements were David Sanchez, Maria Holweck, Timo Hayden, and Dirk Van Tulden. And then in the GTEs, we had a fantastic battle for the lead. In the end, it was a little bit anticlimactic with Alex Arana taking away the race victory. Patrick Henrik did well in 2nd place. 3rd place, what a good drive. That was an awful voice fake, probably my worst ever. Denis Grabowski in 3rd position. What a very good result for him. Remember, he was right at the back of the field at one point, but well done to him in 3rd place. Dio Caroni finished in 4th. Then it's Dominic Stabe in 5th. Fraser Williamson finishes in 6th. Then it's Camille Franzak in just behind him. Then it's Gabriel Nessi, Messier, Scoopsack, Oliveira, DeCourt, Rabots, Pers, Hendrickson, Papian, and Orgodonikov. Apologies again. And then the retirements were Le Hook, who was so disappointing. Remember, leading the race and then got disqualified. Carl Dunlop, Dimitros Houdelidis, then Gianni Becchio, Piotr Jago. Oh, I'm not even going to pronounce it, to be honest. Apologies. Then it's Barry Morrison rounding out the field, and hopefully we'll get some interviews with drivers coming up. Currently, no, I'm waiting for us. Well, Ryan, was a really good race out there. Once again, we had some fantastic race lead battles between the LMP1s and the GTEs, and in the end, Patrick Wolf, what a great job that was. He was about 10 seconds off the lead at one point, and he wins it by 3 seconds. That really is a showing of his talent out there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a fantastic drive back to the front by Patrick. I mean, he had issues in the early stages of the race, but he kept his head down, just got on with it, and just slowly but surely chipped away at Matt Farrow's lead, and he managed to put Farrow under tremendous pressure and made a move when he needed to, and made it count, and managed to run away in the final minutes of the race, and they won the race. And yeah, for me, for that drive, simply Patrick Wolf is my driver of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic recovery job from Patrick Wolf. And hopefully we'll see him back next week. We do often see him on Apex Racing TV, which is absolutely superb. That's also going to help his championship chances as well. Oh. So yeah, his due to the fact that he's on a different account, Paddy Wolf, yeah, won't count towards his championship standings. That's not very good, is it? So he'll have to, get a 3-month subscription or something, and score some points later on in the week. So that's not great for him. Hopefully, he will have to be back for next week to score back some points for Patrick Wolf. We'll hopefully see him then. Tomorrow we've got the BSR TC Pro Series on Apex Racing TV, and then on Saturday we've got the UAV8. Sunday, the Porsches, the BSR Porsches. Then Monday, oh no, we don't have World GT. Oh, what am I going to say? What's on Mondays for the next 4 months? Oh dear. Well, yeah, that's gone now. So no more BSR. So no more World GT. But next Tuesday we'll also have the BSR MX5s as well. Before you'll be back with us next Wednesday for week 6 of this series. But for now, from me, from Ryan, and from Sam, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.